Hello, sports movie fans. Welcome to the Locker Room Flicks podcast. I'm Frank Sullivan, and here with me is my co-host Frank Darlin. Frank, how are you tonight?
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Nice and warm here. I heard it's warm there too.
Yes. Past 2 days, it's been rather warm.
Yeah, I know.
It still gets kind of cold in the morning,
Yeah.
so it's like past few days I wear like a jacket in the morning, and then you end up stripping it off at night. Like when I leave work because I go in so early.
But it's very weird having the weather almost the same as ours. That's really nuts.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, because the highest we were today was 85. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So yeah.
So yeah, you had a birthday, huh?
Yes, it was good.
How was that? You had a good birthday. You do anything
Yeah.
special?
No, nothing special except for going. Like I said, we went down to we're ESPN down there, the yacht club. We went to Ale and Compass. We went there a few times. It's good stuff though. I had the braised ribs.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, it's real good. Good food,
Braised
and it's
ribs,
not
huh?
crazy price either. It's decent price, but nice atmosphere. And then we took a walk around there, and it was real nice. We had a good time.
Yeah, for those who don't know, my uncle, they happen to live about what, 10 minutes?
About 15 minutes.
About 15 minutes from Disney World.
Yeah, yeah. 15
So they're
minutes from
pretty
Disneyland.
close.
Yeah.
Um,
Right now with our pass, we can't go because it's spring break.
oh, yeah, that's
We're not
true.
allowed to go. So we will go.
I don't think you'd want to go right now,
No.
would you?
Nah, there's too many people. No,
Yeah.
it's no fun.
I hear that the with Bob Iger taking over, I hear he wants to lower the prices down for admission
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he wants to do that, and
because it kind of make it a little more affordable for families.
he really wants to get rid of the reservation system because you got to make a reservation to go to
For everything.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does. He
it's
just
for a lot
wants
of
it
the
so
stuff.
you can just show up. You know?
Yeah, that's the problem. They make it so like you can't
No,
just do that. Like,
No, you can't. No.
Even like the fast passes, you got to schedule them like
Yeah.
6 months in advance.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
kinda
and
a
living
pain.
here, we only got 30 days in advance. So
Really.
because we live here and we have the yeah, it's only 30 days. But if you were coming down, you get 60 days or something or 120
Gotcha.
days to make a reservation. We don't. So
But that's what I mean. It's like, especially with like the weather, you don't know how it's going to be down there. It's like
You don't.
you schedule everything for one day and it pours all day, and it's like, okay, well now we're screwed now.
you got to go.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just saying that's in the old days, you know how it was. You just went.
I could remember you'd have to run all the way to like Space Mountain, put your the physical ticket in,
Yep.
and then you get the little
Yeah.
paper that gives you the time frame.
Yep. I liked it that way. I thought that was pretty cool for the fast pass and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Times have changed, huh?
Yeah. Yes, they have.
Anyways, before we'll get into the movie, I wanted to talk about, we got kind of like two reviews.
Right.
One review on Apple Podcasts from Silent Steve 1999. He said, "Great podcast about sports movies. Frank and his uncle work well together. I like to listen back and forth. Definitely give it a listen."
Oh, that's good.
So Silent Steve gave us 5 stars. So thank you
Wow, that was real good.
for Silent Steve. We also got, I also got a DM on Instagram from, let me see, this guy here, an avid listener, Chris Powell. He's a longtime listener because I know he's been listening from the start.
All right.
Just listened to the second episode with Frank, and he has some damn good insight into things. Excellent pick for a co-host. Y'all have awesome chemistry. Feel free to share this. And he says you're a great guy.
Well, thank you to both of those guys. That was
Yes.
really nice to say
Thank
that.
you, Chris.
And,
Yep.
Try to get better every week, so we'll see what happens.
I tell you, with every episode, it's like you just pick up so much when you go along,
Yeah.
and it's natural now. I don't know. I think I've gotten about, I don't know how many. We're on 39
Yeah.
for Locker Room Flicks, and then we were also guests on Steve, my old co-host.
Right.
He has a podcast, so I was also guest on his.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
got
that's
about close
good.
to 50. So
Yeah, that's pretty good though. That's good.
here's to another 50 more, right?
Yep. There's
All right.
a lot of movies out there.
Yeah, and too, I think we talked too, when we do run low on movies or whatever, I
Right,
also
right.
mentioned we could maybe do not the whole series, but say like pick like a pilot episode of, let's say, like Friday Night Lights, a series.
Yes, yes.
I'm trying to think of what other series are out. There's a few football ones.
Yeah, I'm
All
trying to think.
American, is
All
that the one?
American. Linda's actually watched that first season. I don't know if she's watched it
I
since, but All
Yeah.
American, yeah. Yeah.
I've watched some of that. There's a few other ones that I can't think off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll watch some of that. I don't know. We'll see
Yeah,
where
something
we
different.
go.
Something
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
All right. So you want to start it up?
Yep. Let's see what we got here. So the movie we watched
Yep.
was called The Greatest Game Ever Played. Golfing movies
Yep.
starring Shia LaBeouf as Francis Ouimet and Stephen Dillon as Harry Vardon. It was directed by Bill Paxton, the late Bill Paxton.
Yeah. Honestly, shocked. I didn't even know that was him that directed
Yeah,
it.
it's him.
Shame.
Yeah, I know. He died young. And, good guy. Loved him as an actor too. And the box office opening weekend was 3.6 million and 15.4 million US. Golf movies are tough, and I think it should have done much better than that. But golf movies are tough.
Yeah.
It opened up on September 30th, 2005, and it was 2 hours long. So it was.
Yep. Yeah, it was it was a long movie for sure.
But it was well done. It was nominated for 3 awards.
Was it?
Don't think it won anything.
I think it was nominated for. I know I saw one of them. I was nominated for an ESPY.
Oh, an ESPY. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but the simple synopsis for the people that want to know is it's based on a true story. A blue-collar Francis Ouimet fights class prejudice while mastering golf. A game guarded by the upper crust and takes on the greatest golfer in the world. And that's exactly what it was about. Yes. But that's a good synopsis of the whole movie, really.
Yeah.
Now, where did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it on Disney Plus.
So did I. That's
Nice.
two for Disney Plus.
Yes, that's true. It's
But
nice.
it was
when you-
it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. Yeah, Bill Paxton. Not to go back to that, but Bill Paxton. His before we get to your 5 fun facts, just one fact that I had. His son was in that.
Yeah, I did see.
Okay,
I did
I
see
don't know
that
if you
too.
use that as a fun fact, but it was. I just thought
No.
I'd tell you that. Yeah, his son.
Who did he play? Do you know?
He played a young Harry Vardon. Remember when they were taking the house down?
Correct. Yeah.
Kid there? That was him. That's it. But now to the best part of the podcast.
That's part of the night, right?
Frank's 5 fun facts. What do you got, Frank?
Okay, so you might want to know about maybe the training that he had to go through, Shia LaBeouf. So he said by the time of the end of the movie, he said his handicap was down to a 10.
Wow, really?
He trained for 7 months, golfing every day for 6 hours, 7 days a week, with 8 trainers.
Wow, that's amazing.
So they really put him through.
Yeah,
That's one of my
amazing.
my biggest I guess pet peeves is having these stars actually physically do like the sport.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like, see, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like you kind of like you see a stunt man, hit the ball, or like a lot of like the football. I mean, I get football is kind of more of a physical sport.
Right.
But a movie like Coach Carter, all those
Yes.
actors, you know what I mean? You can't fake that.
No.
You know?
They all went through that training on that.
Yeah.
In that movie, that's a good movie. So yeah, definitely.
All right, fact number 2. So the real Francis Ouimet and Eddie Lowry remain longtime best friends. When Ouimet, I can't say his name. Ouimet, right? Ouimet.
Yeah, Ouimet.
Ouimet.
There's no Q. I thought it was a Q. It's Ouimet. Yeah.
Ouimet. When he died in 1967, Lowry was one of his pallbearers. So it seems like they were
Didn't know that. Wow.
remained.
I know where they were very close. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if there was like a big. I probably should have looked it up. If there was a big age difference like there was in the movie.
All I know is he was 10 years old at the time. That's all I know. He
Really?
was 10. So I don't know what Ouimet was at the time. Ouimet. I don't know what he was.
So there, I guess he had. He was definitely finished high school, right?
Yeah, right.
Because he was talking about going to college, right?
Yeah,
Because he said he was taking the thing off.
right. So he might have been 20 or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
and he was 10. Yeah,
big
yeah,
difference. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's pretty wild, though. When you think about it. Really
I
good.
know. Fact number 3: in the beginning of the film, Harry Vardon shows young Francis how to hold a golf club. Vardon is credited with creating the overlapping grip used by most professionals and is still referred to as the Vardon grip to this day.
That's awesome.
I had no idea.
I bet you, hey, I bet you ask the golfers of today and they probably don't know.
Really?
I'm
Yeah.
serious.
Well, I mean,
Not the Varden grip. I doubt it. Maybe I ain't.
I mean, it took place. I think I wrote it down. I mean, the movie took place in what 1913?
Was it 13?
Yeah, 1913. Yeah.
1913, yeah.
But yeah.
That's pretty cool though. That's pretty cool when you think about
Mm-hmm.
it. Yeah. I never knew it.
No,
I
me
was
neither.
taught the grip, but I never knew who invented it. So
So fact number 4: there is early mention in the film that no professional has ever been made a member of the English club. In fact, professionals weren't allowed inside the clubhouses until the Prince of Wales invited Walter Hagen to lunch in the clubhouse at St. Royal George after his British Open victory.
oh wow, didn't know that.
So
I know the guy you're talking, Walter Hagen. I've heard of him.
yeah,
But
he's
not-
an old golfer too, though. Like, well,
Yes.
his prime
Yeah.
years were what, 30s?
30s, yeah, 30s, 40s, something like that. Yeah, yeah.
I was just guessing on that.
That was
Wow.
good though. That's good. Yeah, that's pretty wild. I didn't know that. You know, that was a very upper crust thing back then. So
Oh yeah, you know,
Yeah.
like I said, we'll get into it, but I was
Yeah.
getting a lot of like you know, like in the Titanic vibes, where like
Yep.
you're lower class, we're
Yeah.
upper class.
Yeah.
Stay where you are.
LaBeouf's he's in the steerage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he is.
And
It's
so
horrible, but-
my last fact is, I was kind of interested in like some of the fees of the tournament, because for him
wow.
he had to come up with $50 to play in the tournament.
wow.
Francis. So $50 in 1910 would be equal to. You want to guess how much it is now?
See, that's about what's that? About 100 years, 110 years. I'm gonna say about 2,000.
You're close. You're not far off. 1790 today.
Wow, what a difference!
Crazy.
Huh?
Well, that's a lot though for back then.
$50 back then? Yeah. Yeah.
So a little more about fees and stuff. So for 2023, a PGA Tour player who's exempt from qualifying doesn't have to pay entry fees for the tour events, but he does pay a $100 initiation fee, $100 in annual fees, and he's got to pay a $50 mandatory $50 locker room fee.
Oh, that's today?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's interesting. You learn a lot of stuff. You learn a lot
I
of
know.
stuff. You learn
It's
a lot of
crazy.
stuff from these movies because you start digging and
Listen,
Yeah.
trust me. Like when I, it's hard to like once you go down that rabbit hole. It's like it's very easy to get sucked into. Like I know, like one of like the earlier episodes we were on. I think it was like Mighty Ducks or something. They end up talking about the Hartford Whalers, and then I got into
Yeah.
a whole thing where you go down that rabbit hole, and it's like okay,
you could talk for 2 hours if you really wanted to. I mean,
Oh,
there's-
yeah.
There's so many things here, but
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah,
Well,
those are my facts.
those are excellent facts. Very good. 2 or 3 of them I had no clue.
Yeah.
No clue of those at all. No.
I tried Googling, like there wasn't too much info
Yeah.
about the
it's-
movie, but
it's tough. Sometimes it's a little tricky with that stuff, but you know, it matters how much they put out there.
so this is I've never seen this movie.
No, I never did either. First
And
time.
I know Linda
Yeah,
said she saw it.
Yep.
What'd you think?
Phenomenal.
Yeah?
I loved it. I loved it, and I cried too.
Really?
I cried.
Ah,
Yeah.
you big
I
softy.
Yeah, I did. I did cry.
That's
a little
I'm a,
bit.
I'm a crier too. You know that.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah, I
big
got very
softies.
sad. Well, I love the underdog. That's why I like somebody
Mm-hmm.
that's not given a chance and finally does it and finally as we know, he finally he does what he's supposed to do in there, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I really did.
I definitely I enjoyed the movie. There was a few things that I just lacked a little bit.
What was that?
We'll get. I mean, we can get into it. I'm just
Yeah,
kind of
there's
giving you a brief thing, but
plenty of stuff here. Yeah.
what I enjoy. I thought it was a little too long. I feel like they could have cut out a decent amount of stuff.
I agree. I agree totally. You're right.
The
Yeah.
love interest kind of was like an afterthought. I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, that wasn't. I know they do that though in those movies.
I understand. It seemed like
I know.
you know.
You're right. I agree with you. I agree.
It was a little. It was like I said. It was just a little too long for my taste.
It was.
Let's get into the cast first and foremost.
Yeah, sure.
Did you happen to notice who played Harry Varden? What else this guy is from?
He's from Game of Thrones.
I knew right away as soon as I heard him.
Stannis.
Yeah, as soon as I heard him talk, I was like, you know who that is?
Me too. And I was thinking, who is this guy? That's Stannis. I said from
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. He's a good actor. Stephen Dillon. Very. Good.
I liked him a lot actually. Yeah, he was very good in this. Shia LaBeouf, excellent actor.
Did a great job, man. He don't get any credit, I don't think.
No, he definitely doesn't.
He did a nice job. He did a really nice job playing that part. And like you said, I didn't know about that. How much time he had put in. That's real cool.
I feel like we all know him. You know, Harry Varden as Stannis Baratheon. I don't know. I forget what his real name is. But I'm trying to look it up here.
Oh, Stephen Dillon, you mean?
Stephen Dillon.
You mean the real guy's name? Yeah.
Yes.
It's Stephen Dillon. Yeah.
I feel like for box office and numbers. I mean, back then he was probably like a no-name actor.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think of that.
And even right. Shia LaBeouf was so good, he needed someone else to compliment him.
He did. Yeah.
And I think that's where it lacked, and I think that's why I didn't do so much in the box office because, and even like his father, who was in a bunch of stuff too.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he plays. You know what he's in? He was in Chicago PD. I'm not saying you ever watched it. But
no.
Yeah, he played in Chicago PD. He's been You know what he's been in a lot? That Elias Koteas. He's played the bad guys in a lot of B movies and stuff. C movies.
Yeah.
He'll be the goon. Yeah.
I mean, just looking up. I mean, it's a Shutter Island.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, he's in a lot of
Haunting.
stuff.
Curious Benjamin. He's been in a lot of stuff, but again, it's like who Shooter he's in, but who?
Yeah.
We don't know who he is.
Yeah, exactly. He's not the main character in it. No, but he's a good actor, though. He's a good actor.
Yes.
He plays a good part. Yep.
So even I was gonna say even the girl they could have casted someone better, but
yeah, I know.
But again, I think that's where it lacked a little bit.
Yeah, there's small parts here and there.
But because like I said, we're talking about the cast. That's all we can really say.
Well, yeah,
the kid, I say the little kid knocked it out of the park too.
Oh yeah, well you come down to that with my favorite person in the movie. It's definitely the kid.
Yeah,
I loved him. Yeah, and I didn't realize he was I didn't know that character he played is a real person. His name Ed Lowry. Was it Ed Lowry? Yeah, I think it's Ed Lowry. I have it somewhere. Yeah, Eddie Lowry. He plays the caddy. He was 10 years. Josh Flitter. We didn't mention him either. Josh Flitter is the kid.
Yeah.
10-year-old. So he played a really good part in that. He was hysterical, too. He was a little bit of the comedy relief in there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He was really good.
I
love that part. Just one more thing I want to tell you. In the movie, this is a little tricky part. Remember, you always ask what the differences are.
Yeah.
In the movie, the playoff in the movie for the championship in the end, where he plays Ray, I think that's this guy's name, and Varden.
Mm-hmm.
By the 17th hole, he was up by 5 shots. So they just made that.
They made it look like
he had already beat them, but
they made it look like it was more neck and neck.
Well, they have to make the movie, but in real life.
No, I like that. That's fine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was up by 5 shots, so it was already over already. He pretty much destroyed him in the last 2 holes. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I didn't quite get. So like, if it first starts out, with it's Harry Varden, right?
Right.
And the golf course is it's in England, and the golf course is moving on his property, or basically.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably should have looked up a little bit more, but so they get kicked off of their house or something like that. Is that what happens? I think
they're gonna tear the house down. Yeah, I don't know if they got any residuals for it, but
because I got confused because Francis lives right across the street
from Brookline
from the golf course. So I'm
Yeah.
like, wait a minute,
Yep.
is that Francis is showing, or was it Harry Vardon? I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So it was kind of confusing.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, he lived across supposedly in real life. He lived across from Brookline Country Club, in Massachusetts, which I still think is there.
I did see a fact. Yeah, I saw a fact that I guess they changed the color. I guess when they filmed there, they changed the color of the clubhouse to yellow.
Oh, okay.
And I guess they liked it so much they just kept it that way.
Yeah.
That was another little tidbit I saw.
Well, I guess they show them together on a YouTube. I found Ed Lowry and Francis Ouimet.
Yeah.
And it shows them in 1960. I don't know what year it was, in the 60s. And it shows them at the Brookline
really?
Country Club. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But you were right. They stayed friends forever till they died. You know, so, but
but yeah, that kind of got me confused. And then the thing with, like, I don't know, it just kind of bugged me with the four guys that ended up taking the house away from them
with the hats on.
Yeah, he ended up seeing them. Like, I was like,
know.
This just seems kind of like,
yeah, it's a little pokey there, but
yeah.
Hey, did you notice something in the movie I've never seen before? Did you see when Eddie Lowry or Josh Flitter is the actor? They had no T's back then. I don't know if you knew that. They had no T's.
Yeah. So I tried looking up like the evolution of the T, because it looks like a mound of sand.
It is. That's how
what
I
thought
used to
it
do
was.
Yeah. Never seen that in my life.
That's wild too.
Yeah. Yeah.
To think that, yeah. I was like, wait. I gotta rewind. I was like, what is that he's doing? He's like almost like he's building a sandcastle. He puts it down on the ground.
I've never ever heard that in my life. Never saw it.
I
never saw that. It was amazing.
It works, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess it does. Yeah. One thing I didn't like about the movie, as I told you basically in the beginning, is I didn't like the prejudice of the rich and upper class people in those days against Harry and Francis in the movie. You remember when Harry goes and thinks he's going to go to join the club there, and they say, "Oh yeah, you can work in the store or something."
Yeah.
That's a slap in the face. Unfortunately, that's the way it was back then.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. It's like it had very, very, like I said, like upper class.
Yeah, it's the way it was. That's how real it was.
That's sad.
Real. It was sad. It's very sad. It really is when you think about it. You know, it's real sad. It was very, like I said, I put on here too. It was very realistic for the time period. So that's
and I actually, I did enjoy. Like, I feel like too, if I'm going to be an actor, like it'd be cool to be in like one of these time period pieces. That way you get to wear like, nice costume and
yeah. I thought
it's cool with the cobblestone going and everything.
Oh, I know. I thought the outfits were. I mean, it was cool. I love those time periods.
Yeah,
it's pretty a lot goes into making those movies. You don't realize it, but it's amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Let's see.
What's your? I was gonna say, ask this question. What's your favorite Bill Paxton movie?
Oh, my favorite. Oh my God. I liked. Well, of course, I liked him in
Twister. Yeah, we go.
Twister.
We always go back to Twister.
He was in. Is it U? I think it's U-409. He's a submarine operator. They capture a German sub in the. It's an excellent movie.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. He played in that part there. But Twister. I hate to say it. Oh, Twister, Aliens. He's an alien.
Also in Apollo 13 too.
Apollo 13.
He did a lot of good stuff.
He does good stuff. It's so disappointing to see what he died. I think he was like 50 years old, wasn't he?
He was 61.
So 61. Okay.
That's still young though.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Yeah. Twister's always got that. I think you going down on vacation to Universal Studios. Tristan's always got that soft spot in our heart, right?
Oh, I love it. I think it's gone now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's been
But it
gone
used
for
to
a
be
while.
cool, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
no.
cool.
It used to scare the shit out of me, man. Especially when I was a little kid.
You were little.
I was so terrified of that ride.
Everything's falling and stuff. And...
Yeah, they're supposed to be making like it's not a remake, but like a second one. It's called like Twister.
Oh yeah, it is.
Like
I heard about that. Yeah.
I don't know who's actually. I mean, obviously he's not in it, but
no.
I don't know what the whole premise of it, or I don't know who's in it. I don't know what's her Helen Hunt. She might be in it or not.
Yeah. I thought somebody was going to be in it that was in the first one, but
it might be Helen Hunt. I mean, and the other guy that was in it that was a big thing was Philip Seymour Hoffman.
I know.
And he's gone too.
He's gone too. Yeah, another one died pretty young.
Yeah.
What a shame. Yeah, that was a good trip. That was a good flick though. But this was a nice pick by the people. Nice pick by you. I started watching it, like I said, and you always ask you, would you watch it again? Yep.
Yeah.
If I was flicking the channels, I'd watch it again. Yeah, it was excellent. Like I said, I like the underdogs in these movies.
Yeah.
I love it. I really enjoy that.
I'm trying to think. Lose my train of thought here.
Well, there's a few things.
There was one thing. This movie was before Holes, I believe, because Holes was like his first major film.
Whose?
Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, okay.
Because I recognize one of the kids from that movie. Holes. Have you seen that movie?
I think. Go ahead, explain it to me. I thought I saw that, but I'm not positive.
They he like ends up getting caught for like stealing shoes, and they send him to this like juvenile detention center kind of in like the middle of nowhere, and
all right.
Like their discipline is to like just dig holes all day.
No, I didn't see it. Was it pretty good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's also a popular book.
Oh, I didn't
one of those books that like I remember reading. They made us read it in in school.
Wow, Holes.
But anyways, one of the guys, it's you remember the love interest?
Yes.
So it's her brother.
Oh, okay.
Her brother was in that movie with him.
Oh, you mean her brother, the actor, her brother? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, the actor, her brother.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Huh?
I recognized him right away.
Yeah.
But.
Well, a few facts in the movie which I thought were pretty cool.
Yeah.
Eddie Lowry, he becomes a multimillionaire.
Yeah, I know.
He works for the auto industry, I guess, and
that's what he did, huh?
In San Francisco, yeah, becomes a multimillionaire. You see, it's amazing what things happen to people in real life.
I know. Yeah.
Pretty cool. You gotta remember too. In 1955, he was given the Bobby Jones Award. Now, Bobby Jones was another great player back then. He played amateur for about 10 years. Then he went pro and had a successful career. He's one of the better players of all time.
Wow.
And he was the first one to get it. Also an amateur until he was 30 years old. This was Bobby Jones. But that's the award they made. It was a sportsmanship award. It was given to Francis Ouimet. So it's pretty cool. That's an honor, really, for him. Like I said, it's a good story on them. On the person himself, those two really.
Yeah, no, I agree that like the story was actually very good. I enjoyed the story.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was a little too long. I thought it was pretty cool. Some of the camera shots. I don't know when you see it like the ball going in the hole.
They were excellent. Yeah.
And obviously, it's just one of those CGI things. But you got the little ladybug that lands on the ball on the golf ball.
Yeah. Plus, don't forget the other characters. The big guy, Ray. I think it was Tim Ray. I forgot. Exactly.
Yeah, he wasn't. I guess I was reading a fact on him. He wasn't really like fat or anything like that. They just kind of
he was
made it.
Yeah, he was 6'1" or 6'2", which is big back then. But he wasn't real big. He was a pretty good golfer. He won a couple of I think he won a couple of titles.
Yeah.
And what you don't see in the movie, of course, you're not gonna, because it's only the start of Ouimet is. He played. I just mentioned the Bobby Jones. he lost several close matches to Bobby Jones in amateur competition during
Really?
like 10 years. Yeah, so he, but you know, it just like I said, those people. Oh, and here's a little trivia that you probably never knew.
Yeah.
He married Stella Sullivan,
Huh.
Francis Ouimet. So
Did he?
see, you're in the movie.
I'm related to him.
You're in there, yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's funny. I enjoyed the beginnings, the few beginning scenes when he was like a kid, and it kind of show how like obsessed he was about golf and
Oh yeah.
and Harry, and you know he ends up showing him how to hold the club. He ends up hitting it.
Yes.
I was like, oh look, it's like a simulator, the early simulator.
Yeah, it was. Isn't that amazing what they had back then?
I know.
It was just a thing on the wall, but still.
Yeah, I don't know if I told you this story when I worked for Dick's Sporting Goods. I helped build like their simulator.
Did you really?
Yeah. So it was. They were like, hey, you know, we're redoing our Springfield store, so you know we're looking for volunteers to. You know, you drive back and forth. I got paid for mileage, so you know you can go. You can do it for a week.
Yeah, right.
And you get to wear regular clothes. You don't have to. You just kind of like
nice. That's
do
nice. I like
do
that.
little things here and there.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, you know, give us a hand. So I was like, it's like a little room inside the big room. So am I holding up the walls? You know, it was kind of cool.
Wow. Did you try it out?
No, I don't think I ever got a chance to try it out.
You never did, no. I've never tried it out, one of those things. I always wanted to do that. Yeah.
No, so actually, you know, maybe next time you're up here, there's one right down the street from me, golf simulator.
Oh, is there?
It's an indoor one. I actually took Casey to it. We went for my birthday, and it was a lot of fun.
That's a good idea, though, to practice. That'd be good for Linda. I know they got the Top Golf.
They could be a little pricey depending on how long you do. So that's the one thing. But again, like, you know, we went in February.
Right.
Up here,
right.
It's worth it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's true. That's right. Yeah.
But
yeah, let's see what we got here. Oh boy, let's see.
I was gonna say, I know did you tear up when they wanted to replace? And they were trying when he was finally doing well, and they try to replace what you call it as the caddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt so sorry for him.
They played in that movie like was back then. They played so many games with people's heads back then. You know, they just didn't want nobody in there that was like I said, a lower class. They just didn't matter how good you were. He got lucky. That guy represented him, and got him in there, and that's the rest is history, of course. Watching the movie, but you know, it's just you can imagine how many people don't get that back then. Didn't get that chance. You know. So,
I can imagine. Yeah.
Today it's a little easier today because they don't really have the steerage group and the, you know. But back then it was horrible.
Yeah. When was it? Do you remember? Because you said you've golfed. Do you remember like the first time you like held a golf club when you actually like?
Let me think.
Talking a while ago, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's probably when I worked at Avco Lycoming, Textron down in Stratford there. Down near Stratford, near the beach there. When I played there, there's a guy on third shift. His name was Paul. He passed away actually 2 years ago. He taught me. We used to go in the mornings, so we worked third shift. So we'd go in the mornings, and I'd play with him. And that's really how I learned how to play better. Let's put it that way. He showed me the interlock. I was always using the baseball grip.
Oh yeah.
So I learned a lot from him. He was a pretty good player. He could play. But that's where I started playing. And it used to be.
How old were you? Like
I was
older than 18.
Yeah, I was. Let's see, that's 83. I was 21.
Oh, okay. It's not
now
bad.
whether I played before that, I don't know if I did. I might have, but I think I just hit balls. That's all. I might have just went to the driving range. I really started playing with ball, so I know how to hit the ball. But going with him, I learned how to play better. So that was Woodlawn Golf Course in in Woodbridge. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody can hit balls into the.
Anybody, you're right.
It's hard, man. I tell you, like my dad, when he used to drag me when I was a kid, when we go to like Myrtle Beach when on
Right.
vacation, we would go. There used to be the Sleeping Giant golf course. I don't know if you played
Sleeping
there.
Giant.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
No, it was the place where the middle school is now,
Meadowbrook.
Meadowbrook. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Meadowbrook Golf Course.
I've never played there, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Meadowbrook. Yeah. Yeah.
Sleeping Giant is actually is a nice course.
You've played there a lot, right? That's where you played,
I
right?
well, I played there
Oh.
a few times for sure. Because I'm trying to think, it's an easier course, a Sleeping Giant. Let me put it this way:
Right.
where like
Right.
a par 4 is like almost like a par 3 as
Yeah,
far
I
as
got it.
yardage go. We did last year. I would like my company at work. We'd have a group. We used to play it every week, or every other week, depending on
Right.
who would go and who's in town. And we would play once a week on like Wednesday or Thursday.
Right.
Um, and Traditions in Wallingford, which
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Traditions in Woodbridge,
Right.
because
Yes.
you've had two of your kids get married there.
I've actually played in the one in Wallingford. I
You
there
played in
once.
one in Wallingford.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
it's a hard course, man. I tell
It
you.
is a hard course. I've been there. I played there. Played there twice actually. Somebody
Did you?
we said you want to go play, and I said, "Where we going?" We'll play in Wallingford. Okay.
Yeah,
So it was good. It was pretty cool, but you're right. Tough course. It was
it's a
hard.
tough course. I did 18 with her brother, on the one in Woodbridge too. That was an okay course.
Yeah. Oh, you mean where we got where Maria
Yeah,
Mountain.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a nice course too. It can be tight at times on those holes though. A lot of trees there. So
Johnny's been bugging me about golfing. I was like, just gotta let me know when you're available. Well,
I know.
he, you know,
Robert wants to go again too. You ever see
Really?
Robert? I don't think you ever did. Man, I know we're on the podcast, but you ever see Robert's? I used to go to the. Make a long story short, I used to go to the driving range with him, and I watch him hit the irons. He'd hit an iron, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. I said, "Come on, why don't we go?" So we went to the par three. To make a long story short,
yep.
the first 5 holes. I'm not lying. First 5 holes, he hit the green. It was first
Really?
shot. Here's the problem: he couldn't putt. By the 5th hole, he was ready to throw his clubs in the water.
Really?
Hope you're not listening, Robert. But,
That's right.
but
We hope you are listening, Rob and
Yeah.
John. If you're listening, and we know you are.
And and he had a beautiful swing, so he wants
Really?
to go again. Yeah, it's a beautiful swing. Because he asked me, "What club do I use?" I said, "Rob, use this club, Rob. Just hit it.
Yeah.
Just do like you do." It was pretty cool. He hit it right on the green.
I tell you, it's difficult. Like, especially with putting too, is like I was telling Casey, you get on the green, but it's not like mini golf. You can't hit it
No,
off
it's
a
not.
wall and it bounces, and
No, it's not. Putting is tough.
you end up you actually ended up getting on the green in 3, but
Yep.
then you 3 putt,
Yeah.
and then there it goes. I have someone I know that like sometimes will drive using an iron because he hits irons better.
Yeah.
That's me. I slice.
I
the tee.
hit pretty straight most of the time when I hit it. So
It's all practice, and that's
you got to play that game. You got to play. You
And-
can't play once every 2 weeks.
that's what to segue into the movie. That's what Francis
Yeah,
is playing
he
every
did.
day for forever, and as
Yeah.
a kid.
I know. Oh, well, that's a good part. That's what makes a good point in the movie. His father, gotta remember back then.
Oh yeah, that was.
That's a working family. I mean, it was
Oh,
nice
his family
that
for sure, because they're
It
low.
worked out, but they're low. So you got to go to work, And he decided to do that, and he got lucky. It worked out good for him. But in most cases, people are working in the stores, and it was a tough life back then.
Oh
It was a
yeah,
tough
that's
life.
he was working at what was it, like a tailor shop?
Yeah, tailor shop. Yeah.
That's
But,
funny.
Yeah. I don't know if you realize he enlisted. Oh, here's this good. This is a good story. This is good for this. Good for the podcast.
Yeah.
He decided to play as an amateur his whole career. But here's the catch.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to change the rules and make him be a professional because of some crazy thing. So he said,
Yeah.
okay. So what he ended up doing is he enlisted in the Army, became a lieutenant, and he came back, and now he's a war person. And they said, nah, you're good. You can stay amateur.
Really?
So, yeah, pretty cool. Yeah.
I didn't know. That was cool.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there was no plastic wooden tees then. That was something I read on. So the dirt was used for the tee.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So, and it's weird. There was a reason for that too. They were saying back then, even the plastic or I don't know what it was, but I don't know.
Shit, plastic maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's talk about maybe like the final end scene. When he faces off, like I said, it's a 3-way tie.
Yes.
Clearly
yes.
between all the main
excellent.
characters.
And I had no idea what was going to happen. I mean, I kind of knew, but I
didn't know. Like I said, I didn't look it up. I didn't know.
Saw it. I never saw it before. And okay, so going to that in the 17th hole, the Brookline. This is something I learned. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Because it comes into the play because there's 2 holes left, the 17th and 18th.
Yep.
It was a dog leg left, not a dog leg right. Not a big deal, but so it was a left, not a right. So that's just that's one mistake in the movie they made. But whatever, it's not a big deal. I just figured.
And a dog leg is what is like just a turn.
Yeah.
Just to describe.
Almost a dog leg is almost like a boomerang, basically.
Boomerang, gotcha.
Yeah. So it was really.
That's when he tries to hit it over. He hits it over the trees, which is immaculate to begin with.
Yes. I know 1 or 2 golfers I played with that can do that stuff.
Really?
Hit it that high and hit it that long. Yeah. It's risky though.
I've been like between like 2 or 3 trees or something like on that, and I'll hit. I think once I hit off one and it ricocheted off the other one, and I tell you,
probably middle of the fairway it went.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
But definitely was an easy shot.
So getting back to that last, that was awesome. I thought the whole thing was.
Yeah.
And the rain thing. I don't know if you knew this.
I thought that was one of my favorite parts. Is like just the rain scene in general was actually really, really cool.
Linda asked me, "Do they play back then in that kind of weather?" Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Today.
No, it's funny. Casey asked me that too. Well, I mean, they played the other day. I mean, they had the Masters. It wasn't really raining, but it was.
Yeah, they're a little more. What do you call it today?
Soft now.
Yeah, back then it's so different. It's just different. It was a tougher. Oh, here's a good one.
Tougher time, that's for sure.
I'm gonna see if you pick this up. Remember early in the movie, he has his ball not spotted. He has his ball about a foot away from the hole, Harry. Mm-hmm. And Francis Ouimet, which is Shia LaBeouf plays the part. He was behind him. Uh-huh. He didn't move his ball.
Yeah. I noticed with something like that too.
Back then,
they chipped over it like that back then.
You can't chip over it. But here's the rule. Now the rule didn't come into effect until like the 50s or 60s,
of course,
like that, or 40s. If you asked for the person to spot the ball, he has to do it. He has to spot his ball. If you don't, he doesn't have to do it.
So all he had to do was just tell him, "Hey, can you spot the ball?" And it would have been fine.
Yeah, but back then, no. The rules didn't have those rules yet.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Got you.
Now they do. I don't know when it was. The 60s.
So back then, he literally had to hit it.
Yeah.
See, I would have been an asshole, and I would have smacked the hell out of.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm crazy. I was like, that shot in general was nuts and was crazy, and it was just a crazy shot to begin with.
And it went in and bounced out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, you got it. But you still have to ask somebody. So if I was playing with you, even in reality, if I was playing with you and you were in the way, I can ask you to spot the ball. If I don't ask you and hit it, that's it. What do you call it against me? So it doesn't matter.
I got a point. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but I found that out, which I did not know that.
I got my little marker that I bring. I don't use it that often, but it's nice. Right. It's nice to have it.
Yeah,
I got a nice Green Bay one. It's a nice magnetic one. It's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah. It's like a divot fixer and.
Yeah. Well, this was a good movie for golf. If people that play golf that are out there that they listen to this podcast, hoping they do, you can learn a few things here because I never knew none of this stuff. So. This is way back.
Well, it kind of worked out nice too because like the Masters was literally like last week.
Yeah, it was.
Which is crazy.
Out real good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I know we're not on that subject, but here's another shout out: the Quinnipiac men. They won.
That's right.
Division
the Quinnipiac won.
I figure we know UConn had already won, so
the
Quinnipiac had won. I think you might have mentioned it in the last one.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not.
I know I mentioned UConn. Like I said, Connecticut's not really known for professional sports, but we do pretty well.
Yes, we do.
In
We do
other,
very well.
but
Yep.
but yeah, do you want to get into give it your rating and review?
Yeah, I just had a couple more things. Not
Sure.
I just wanted to say on this thing. He was inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame. This is Ouimet in 1974. He was. And one other thing I thought was really cool. In I think that was in the 50s too. They have all his peers that played the game made up a Francis Ouimet Scholarship Fund made in his honor by his peers for people that
cool.
amateur players that were coming up. So that's it. That's all. And he did win the U.S. Amateur twice. That's about all I had. But I thought that was pretty cool. So he had a very interesting life. So pretty wild from a kid that just started out playing in his backyard.
I was just gonna say, yeah, who was low income and
That's amazing. But yeah, the rating. Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
yeah. So IMDb
Okay,
gave it a 7.4, which is actually it's a decent rating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we've had other movies that haven't really got much higher than 7.4, 7.5, which is surprising.
Yeah, 7.4 was pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so the realism of it, of the time period, the way, like you said, a little bit long. And I wish it had done better in the box office, but golf movies are pretty tough. Yeah, I'm gonna blow you away with this one because I really like this movie. It made me cry. So when it makes me cry, I'm gonna give it an 8.4. I loved it. I thought it was an excellent golf movie. Once again, it's a golf movie. It's not this isn't Armageddon or Titanic.
Correct.
It's an excellent golf movie.
8.4. Wow.
8.4. Yep, that's what I'm gonna give it.
Let's see here. I'm just gonna hold my thing up here. So the action, again, the golf play,
Yeah.
and Shia LaBeouf doing it all, I give him a hell of a lot of credit.
Yeah.
So like I said, that was awesome. I give that part kind of like a 9.
Yeah.
The story was very, like I said, was very well written. Great, good story.
Yeah.
I give that like an 8. Like I said, I'm gonna like I said, I'm gonna give like as far as like characters, they could have had a little bit better. They could have casted maybe a bigger name as.
Yeah.
They did a good job. However, I just he was lacking someone to feed off on.
I agree totally.
He was lacking a co-star.
A little sleepy at times not sleepy, but the characters were kind of sleepy. They just basically stood there and watched the whole time.
You're right.
I know it's golf, but
yeah,
the kid was the biggest thing in the whole thing. So
you're right. Yeah, the kid was great.
Yeah, he put some spunk into it. So, but
so with the characters being not that great and for it being a little long, I go with like a 6, kind of like that's just kind of what I'm giving. So it ended up averaging out to be like a 7.6. So that's pretty much right on where
exactly.
IMDb. It was kind of long. It was like I said, it was 2 hours long. They definitely could have cut out.
I agree.
A few scenes.
Yeah, definitely. I think some of the stuff you didn't need to put in there had no bearing on it. Really, it didn't. So.
Well, and their budget. I mean, I don't know what it went to because
it was $25 million.
Yeah. So like, what did it go to? Because Shia LaBeouf couldn't have got that much.
I know. I don't know where that money went.
Location and the filming.
I don't know. You're right. That's a good point. I never thought of that. I mean, Stephen Delane's a nice actor, but he's not.
Again, he wasn't. And this is what you're talking about. This is what, 2005?
Yeah, this isn't Nicolas Cage and
no.
Bruce Willis. So I don't know. Yeah, that was you're right. I didn't even think of that.
But yeah.
I think that's a good rating. I think they're both about the.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah.
If you average them out, it's almost like an 8. So. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll talk about. So next week, I put up a poll. We're gonna do a fighting movie.
Right.
We had Ali.
Right.
With Will Smith.
Okay.
I've never seen. Have you seen it?
Excellent.
Cinderella Man. I've seen.
Excellent.
This was pretty close. It was tight. I put up the poll on Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
So the Instagram one goes away after 24 hours.
Okay.
So we had Ali had 13 votes.
Right.
Cinderella Man had 16 votes. So
I'm happy.
I am happy too. I mean, I hear Ali was very good too.
Will Smith was excellent in it. Hey,
He didn't get nominated, or
I don't know if he did or not. I don't remember it.
I think there was the whole drama with Jada Pinkett and Chris Rock in the first thing, because she was saying how he didn't get nominated for an award or something like that.
It's possible. I really
don't quote me on it, but
Russell Crowe played. I forgot what his name is right
yeah,
now.
I know. I forget too. That's a good movie.
But I know who the boxer is. I know the history of the boxer. I just don't. I didn't even realize who it was. I mean, I didn't even know what it was about to put it on. And I said, "Oh yeah, I know this guy. I know the boxer." See, I was really into boxing back then. I
really?
used to read. My stepfather bought me a book. I used to read about all the boxers. Like you mentioned Jack Johnson the other day. I think it was the last. Yeah, you did.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it was about something we were talking about. Oh, because we were talking about the movie coming up. I think these two you're going to be voting on.
James Braddock.
James Braddock. Yes. Yeah, James Braddock.
I believe this is a long movie too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is pretty long.
Directed by Ron Howard. So
yes, yeah, Ron's good. Ron's good. Yeah. So that's what we'll be watching, right?
Yep, that's what we'll. This is 2 hours and 24 minutes. So.
Oh boy.
But also too, it not only is a boxing movie, it's another time period movie.
Yes, it is. It is.
This actually came out in 2005 as well. So I bet
really?
I bet you it beat. If I look into it, I bet you it beat out that for an ESPY. I know that for a fact.
I bet you, yeah. And plus Russell Crowe helps too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot of nominations. We'll get into that the next episode.
But that's gonna be good.
But yeah.
Okay, so you know now. So it'll be next. Probably next.
Yep.
Well, we can.
We'll talk off.
Yeah, that's
offline.
That's
fine. After we finish. But yeah, anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's it.
Good movie.
That was good.
Good episode.
Excellent movie. And like I said, the fans picked a good movie. I had never saw that before. So they did a good job again. It was excellent. Yeah. Very nice to watch. So.
All right. Awesome.
So what do you got? You got to do we're going to talk.
That's just everyone just, follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Tell somebody, kind of share the podcast. We want to kind of keep it growing and
yeah, right.
Spread the word. Trying to do our best here.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
All right, Frank.
I mean, that's the ball game.